Majed, how are you, mate? You good?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Thanks for your time, and thanks for you joining me from Jordan, because that's where your footballing journey's taken you. But remarkably, that footballing journey started at the Brentford Community Sports Trust, didn't it?
Yeah. I was picked up by Brentford Community Sports Trust, I think, when I was around 12 years old.
So that's where you learned your skills, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And on this journey that's taken you to where you are in your current club, where else have you been along the way? Because you've travelled the world through football, really, haven't you?
Thankfully, I was able to get a scholarship to go play in the States. But then while I was there, I definitely reignited my dream to play professionally.
What did you study while you were out there?
Business and entrepreneurship.
Wow, so then at the end of your scholarship, I guess you had a decision to make then, right?
So I wanted to try and pursue football in Europe again, because obviously I wanted to give that another shot.
So when you came back, what happened next? What's the next chapter then? Because I know for a fact it doesn't end there, does it?
I just knew, I had always believed in my ability. I just wanted to get my foot in the door any way possible. I would have gone anywhere, in the country or anywhere at that time at least. So I was playing for one of these showcase games, and I got we were playing against, I think, Morecambe. Morecambe's under 23 side, and then after the game they invited me up for like a couple of days trial. So I went up for a couple of days, and they ended up offering me, wanted me to stay. I was doing very well in training with Morecambe, and I wasn't getting any really sniffs with the first team, but I was standing out as much as I could. So I came back to London. Like I said, I got my job, and I was enjoying being back at home again, with my family, and I had earning a living, and after focusing on my football. And I decided I actually got picked up introduced to a club, Corinthian Casuals.
Great kit, pink and brown.
Yeah, it's actually a remarkable club. And then when that finished, that whole season, I had an agent in Lebanon contact me. Where like I said, I'm half. My dad was Lebanese, so I have part Lebanese. So an agent over there contacted me and asked me if I wanted to play in Lebanon. I went to Lebanon when I was 25 and signed my first professional contract.
Wow. You must have done pretty well, because not long after that, you become a Lebanese international.
Yeah, funny thing is that I think I had played 3 games of the season, and then the country went into revolution.
Well, what does that look like for someone like me? I don't really know what revolution looks like. I'm fortunate enough never to have lived in it or anything like that. But what does revolution look like?
Yeah, it was just like the people were kind of fed up with the government at the time, and they started going to the streets, and it started growing and growing and growing. And it got to a point where they had to cancel the league. So then I was sat at home again for a few months, just training on myself and seeing what was going to happen. And then my agent told me that there's a team in Jordan that is interested. And the next day I booked a flight to Jordan, and then signed for Ramtha, where I'm at now. As soon as I got there, they locked the whole country down as well because of Corona. It was quite a strict protocol. So they locked the whole country down, and they stopped the league and everything. So I was in Jordan, first time I've been in Jordan, to be fair. And then, I was just locked down for 3 months, couldn't move. So then, long story short, I guess after the whole pandemic started easing out, and they restarted the league, and then the Lebanese national team contacted me, and they said, "We're watching you, and just keep going," and stuff like that. And we have a camp scheduled in November. I think it was November of last year. So it came around, and I got the call up, thankfully. Yeah.
Amazing! What a story! So that whole way, that massive long story, you get the call up, but then what happens?
Yeah, another hurdle.
I knew it was coming. I knew something was coming.
So I got tested positive for Corona, for COVID. Yeah, I got tested positive literally the week before, a few days before I was supposed to fly out. They had booked my ticket and everything, but yeah, it didn't work out. So then I had to just keep my head down, keep going, hope for the next time, I'll be available, which thankfully did come.
Yeah. But that
so
must
yeah,
be a pretty emotional moment for you to finally put on that shirt. You've mentioned already your father being from the country as well. So it must have been a really special moment for you.
It's weird because at the time it felt normal. Like while I was on the pitch and it didn't sink in then. I think part of it was because I kind of deep down, I always thought I believed I was gonna get there. I always believed that there was come a point where I'm gonna put on the shirt. You know, it was just a matter of time as opposed to what would happen. That was a friendly camp in Dubai, and there's the official qualifiers coming up in June, where we're going to play South Korea, which Son is gonna be there. So hopefully get called up to that. I think if I'm playing against Son, I think that would be another crazy moment, real surreal moment. Yeah, I'll get his shirt for sure. Yeah, unless one of the other players beats me to it. You know.
So then, going back to your club side, Aranthi, you played last night, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a game yesterday. Yeah, second game of the season.
How'd you get on?
We won 1-0, got an assist, so it was a good night.
Jordan's a 95% Muslim country, and you're a Muslim sportsman yourself. So people often talk about the difficulties for Muslim sportsmen and women during this period. For someone like me that maybe doesn't appreciate it or understand it as much, how does it affect you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously now being the month of Ramadan, we're obviously fasting without food or drink for like daylight hours. They are catering everything around the month of Ramadan because all the players here, majority of them at least, are going to be Muslims. So they've catered training where we're training after we can eat in the evening, and we're playing our games as well in the evening. So it's catered around that. But definitely I would say the positive side of it is it does kind of realign your focus.
So you said obviously the games are now being played in the evening. So you'll break your fast how long before kickoff?
Well, yesterday we broke our fast around 7:30, and we kicked off around 10. We kicked off at 10:30. So
how do you then? What kind of things will you be consuming? Because I guess the idiot in me thinks I'd get really hungry and want to just eat a lot of food, but you can't because you've got to play a game of football. Right?
Exactly. You got to be smart with that. I think because we've been training around this time, it gives us a bit just to get used to what works, what doesn't work. Sometimes you think I haven't eaten all day, I need to eat loads, but that's not really the case. You know, if you just get some vital nutrients down, usually some dates, maybe obviously some typical pre-match meal like rice, some chicken, but not too much. You know what I mean? Don't overdo it. That's what we kind of did yesterday. And then just a lot of water and you'll be good, you know. And then after the match, that's when you can get all the food back in. So yeah.
You mentioned dates. That's quite a traditional thing to break the fast? Have I got that wrong?
No, you're right. Yeah, that's what most people. It's recommended to break your fast with dates, and obviously there's a reason for that. Obviously spiritually maybe, but there's also a lot of health benefits with the date. You know, the fuel, it's a complex carb, and it kind of, your body kind of absorbs the glucose quite quickly in a way which is not like refined sugar or anything like that. So it's a good way to get energy quickly into your body.
Well, that game yesterday was the second game of the season, right? 1-1.
Second game. Yeah, 1-1, drawn 1. Yeah.
Going for the title this year?
Hopefully. Last year we finished third, and we had a little bit of a run at it. So I'm confident this year maybe we can bring it home. So.
Well, if you do bring it home, you've got to bring it home to Brentford, yeah. And you're going to come to the stadium with the trophy and your medal, yeah. And Son.
Yeah, definitely. And Son's shirt, definitely. Once we're allowed back into the stadiums, I'll be there.
Top man. Sure. Thanks for your time, mate.
No worries. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.